Hey everybody, it's Durger time. Welcome back to another episode of Total Extreme Wrestling 2016, Billy Corgan's NWA. We are back for another episode of Starrcade, ending off the January 2019 month in the game. We have our first Hall of Immortals wrestler as well here. We got the Japanese wrestler Kaiji Muta entering the first Hall of Immortals for the game, which is pretty interesting. Let's go ahead and see if there's any news for us here. Not really much going on here. Looks like Will Ospreay's going to sign a Defiant. That's kind of neat. Roman Reigns is going to re-sign to WWE, which is not shocking. Obviously, this save does not have his leukemia going on. So it looks like Ring of Honor and House of Hardcore are having an enemy thing going on, which is interesting. Oh, speaking of which, Ring of Honor has to change our relationship status to what? Oh, yeah. So they're hostile now. All right. Well, screw you too, Ring of Honor. Previously, New Japan wouldn't let us join their alliance. Now, Ring of Honor definitely won't. Flip wants some money. Yeah. It's a lot of money for you, Flip. It's going to make him angry, but I think we're just going to do the 50. We'll make it up to him later. I don't know. All right. And let's see what we got going on here. All right, so we got a lot of people that are hostile to us right now. PWG's at war with us, which I think means that anybody we sign becomes exclusive. We'll see if we can just try to end these hostilities. I don't know if we can, but we can certainly try. I think we'll have to wait to find out for certain if they will. The hostile doesn't have any specific effect, but yeah, with the war, we can't actually take any of their relationships. So if they have wrestlers, we can't hire them, that kind of thing. I think, though, I feel like we have wrestlers of theirs on their show already. We could also do dirty tricks and things like that with them if we wanted to. I haven't really done any of these yet, but I don't know. I think we're good for now. I don't think I want to be playing around until we get some money flowing our way finally. I don't really am sure I want to do anything with the war feature with dirty tricks. I just want to see here real quick though. PWG, do they have wrestlers that we can't hire? Because I feel like we have wrestlers already. They are smaller than us, so we're not as much of a threat. I don't really care that much. We have a higher Midwest popularity than they do. And we're not really in the same areas that they're fighting. So, like, the war between us really doesn't matter that much, I don't think. I don't know. Yeah, who do they have? Like, I feel like we have most of these guys already. People that we want. Like, do we have Chuck already? We have Sammy. So I don't know. I don't know if it actually does anything. I don't know. It's weird. Someone can tell me in the chat what the war does. I don't really know. So, we've been talking about earlier is we want to talk about working with these low-cost wrestlers. And so, we are going to do an episode where we're probably going to do some hiring and firing because some of our wrestlers do cost a lot, like Hangman Page and stuff like that, as you guys just saw. And I think we want to find some more up-and-comers. So probably the next episode will be a future endeavors where we just kind of hire some people. Anyways, let's go ahead and we'll skip ahead here from the loading screen and let's get to the show. All right. So What do we got going on here? Hostility continues, so the war continues. Everyone is pretty much there. And what we got going on here? Oh, okay. So, we're kind of middle of the pack for the regionals, which is fine for February. Offers don't really matter because we don't have exclusives with anybody. Yeah, there you go. PWG has rejected your offer to end the war, and everyone else is rejected for that. So we're still hostile. We're not going to be able to change that. Oh, well. Jay Lethal radio interview. There was an interesting tidbit last night, and he revealed that he suffers from pre-match nerves, and they get worse the more he's getting pushed. Huh. That's not good. It's kind of shocking, actually. But who would have thought that he's got a little nerves going on? It's kind of interesting. But, we don't have them, so it doesn't really matter. Anything going on here? Nah, not really affecting us here. All right, so we got a show tonight. Morale still looks pretty good. Rory's a little upset from the being refused a full pay raise, but I think he'll be fine. Let's go ahead and skip to the show. All right, guys. We are here. We got a locker room incident with Josephus. What'd you do? Selfish behavior. Well, let's give him a stern warning. But actually did not work. So our backstage rating actually went down a little bit lower. We'll medal again. We'll try not to do that with Sammy. I think this time. I think we'll avoid that. Who do we want to do? Trying to think of what I want to do here. Will Ospreay and yeah, let's do that. Get a friend. He's already got a protege, but it'd be nice if he can get something to happen. Yeah, didn't work. Oh well. At least they weren't hated. Josephus is a negative influence right now for being selfish, which I think is funny. We are on Hulu Plus. We are correctly in the Midwest this time, as we fixed that. So we're going to probably pick best venue. It's probably going to be the fair again. Yeah, it is. Oh, actually, is that a different fair? The West Union Fairground. What is this? It's $12.50. It's about the same size. I think we were in a different fair. We were in a Plymouth County Fairground last time. So we'll just pick the best venue. It's about the same community rating, same cost, capacity. Again, if we break that capacity, it actually could be good for us. I think we're fine with this. So let's go ahead and let's book the show, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back for an episode of Starrcade. Short show. Again, we're trying to play that B team. Let's go ahead and get started. So again, characters we haven't seen wrestle in a while. We got Simon Gotch and PJ Black. It's not a great match for a beginning of the show. It's kind of unfortunate. This is a work the crowd match. This does get to the crowd a little bit hotter though, which is good. It's not much to say. It's a 5-minute match. Just give these guys something to do. They haven't been on a show in a while, and neither of them are doing that great in performance. It's not much to say about it. D+ isn't horrible though. We can move on. I mean, we just haven't seen these guys in a while. I figured give them something to do, right? And also, they're cheaper, so that's kind of what we're building on. So, Tim Storm versus Elliott Russell. That gives Tim Storm another win, which is kind of interesting. Though this match is pretty god-awful. It's not Tim Storm's fault, believe it or not. It's a poor match. Tim Storm defeats Elliott Russell in 7 minutes with an Eye of the Storm. Match did get the crowd hotter, which is kind of surprising, all things considered, to be honest. Would not have expected that. But, D- is not really where we want to be. Tim Storm had an in-ring performance of 40. Elliott Russell had an in-ring performance of 27. Elliott Russell's really not doing much for us, and nobody really improved. He's basically been a fall guy, but he's not really performing in a match that's really worth anything. Maybe for a future Endeavors episode, we'll look at potentially getting rid of him. So, I think we've used him up. I don't really think there's that much use for him at this point. All right. Afterwards, we have an angle with Pinkie George and Tim Storm. Pinkie, after the match, meets up with Tim Storm backstage in the locker room and says, "Great match out there. You know, I've always been a big believer in you, Storm." Storm kind of nods his head to him, and he's kind of appreciated what Pinkie has done. He's like, "I appreciate that." And Pinkie kind of continues, "Well, listen, I have a major opportunity for you. I know you want to retire soon. How would you like to leave on the top instead of leaving on the bottom?" And Tim Storm kind of thinks about it for a second. And he's like, "We could talk." He's like, "Okay, well, I want to meet you later. We have things to discuss." So, you know, it gets the crowd hotter. Obviously, we know what Tim Storm's role is for Pinkie. It's kind of shocking Pinkie's picking Tim Storm, but maybe it has to do with his win streak that he's suddenly on. Or maybe it's just that no one wants to work with Pinkie. But he picks kind of an unlikely contender for him. Tim Storm was an NWA champion, has been relatively loyal to Pinkie in the past, but has never really come up anywhere. Has kind of been on a huge losing streak until recently. But maybe that desire to not retire into obscurity is going to drive Tim, and maybe that's what Pinkie's seeing. It's kind of an interesting pick for his champion. Yeah, especially considering all of the other candidates out there. But we'll have to see how it plays out, and we'll have to see who Billy picks. In an interview afterwards, we have Brian Pillman Jr. He's fired up. He's just angry, just really pissed off. The Cult thinks they can run around and do what they want. They think they can just tack anybody in the ring. They think they can have any opportunity they want. I've worked hard for my spot here. I'm not going to stand around and be terrorized and victimized by these punks. If Icarus wants a shot, he can have it. I'm going to put this nonsense to rest tonight. So he doesn't improve, but he does a really good job. C+, 68 is not bad. And obviously we're going to have a match tonight with Icarus with the belt on the line. Kind of ballsy for Brian Pillman, but we'll see how it shakes out. We have another exhibition match, Ashley Vox versus Julia Ho. If you remember, Ashley Vox is our hidden gem. We want to kind of boost her up. So we give her a win over Julia Ho. It's not a great match, but none of our women's division is really fantastic. We kind of have to work on that. 37 is not bad. Remember, she's young, and she could really start moving up on the rankings for us. In fact, look at here. She actually improved in her technicals today. If we keep on moving her up, she might be a strong contender for the women's division championship in the future. We have a lot of women that cost a lot of money that we're not really utilizing, and I think we can really sort of latch onto her horse, and I think she could be a really big star for us in a year. So that's what we're going to be kind of building up for her going forward. We have an angle with Mike Verna, where he's cutting a promo on Lennon, and he's basically saying, used to be my friend, used to be an ally. I don't know what's gotten into you. I don't know what this whole communist manifesto garbage is with you, but you got to knock it out of your senses. You used to be a friend with me. I don't know what happened after Enzo left, but everything fell apart. And I still believe that the person that I had a partnership with as a tag team champions at one point, I know you're still in there. I know we can resolve this. If I have to beat it out of you, I will. But I'm going to get you back. I'm going to find a way to knock this nonsense out of you. So, does a D. He's not great, which is kind of shocking because he actually, if I looked at him before, he actually has a strong entertainment rating for our scouting level. So I would have thought he would have actually done a little bit better here. It's kind of surprising, to be honest. Only a D. No improvements either. How they keep that in mind? A little disappointed, to be quite honest. But, we do advance the story a little bit. We do know what's going on with Lennon and Verna, so kind of interesting. We have the match with Pillman and Icarus that Icarus kind of fought his way into, and it is an upset. Icarus defeats Pillman in 11 minutes by pinfall with burning wings due to interference from the Cult leader Josephus. Icarus wins the North American Championship. Icarus distracts Pillman, gets a cheap roll-up win, doesn't fight him fair, and Pillman's kind of anger got him on edge, and he ends up losing the title. He was not very happy with this. We had to do a lot to make this happen. In fact, it lost him some heat, so we'll have to keep that in mind. But the Cult now gains control of one belt. Actually, they now have 3 belts. They have the Tag Championships. They have the North American Championship. They are going for the gold, and they managed to steal it off of Pillman. No one improves. Match does not do great, but we'll move on from there. Pillman did pretty well, weaker than his others. I mean, he was off his game. At least it says so here, which makes sense because he was pretty grumpy about everything I had to do. I had to protect him. I had to make him, I had to do everything to make it work for him because he did not want to give it to Icarus, which makes sense. I get it. But it's part of the story. He had to deal with it. Afterwards, Pillman is in shock on the ground as Icarus wins the title. And Josephus and Icarus celebrate and smear that red handprint back on the belt, giving it sort of this dark brotherhood look from Skyrim. And Pillman's just sitting there, just selling it in absolute disbelief that he lost his title. It does great. Look at his B-. Really does well. We gain heat back from that Pillman storyline. People want to see him get this belt back. So we now know sort of the focus for Pillman is trying to reclaim this from Icarus, trying to find a way to fight off the numbers between the Cult and him so he can have a fair shot to get his title back. But really good. That's a great promo, great heat. Really shocked that this did so well. And that, of course, is the end of the show. It does a little bit weaker. We had some weak performances on here. But if you look at this, we really, really played into our mid-card and lower wrestling shows. And this, really well. This was a very cheap show. We reused some people a little bit. We gained popularity still. We're building up our stories. And I think that's where we're going to go focus here, is that going forward, I think this is sort of the pathway to success. We'll build up those stories for the mid-card on Starrcade. We have 4 weeks to build those up. It's only going to improve them. It's only going to build up their momentum. People will come to see the A teams no matter what, even if there was no story. But we'll still sprinkle the stories. The A teams, your upper mid-carders and hires, will show up from time to time on Starrcade, build up a story. But they're really going to be focusing on the storylines back from each pay-per-view. And I think that's going to really change our financials in a way. It's really going to be positive. I'm really looking forward to our path here because I think we figured it out. Man, I think we got it, guys. All right. Hey. Let's see what's going on here. Return of Dwayne Johnson. Last night made a surprise announcement that he's returning to the wrestling business. He's not employed anywhere. Certainly ain't coming to us, I can tell you that. Probably going to be going to WWE, but that's kind of cool. Tyler Bates re-signing with NXT, which is fine. And House of Hardcore is going after everybody. Just really trying to make enemies. 0.02, again, where we were kind of at previously. Just want to check our money. We did have a 40 grand loss before. But look at this. Look at this. For this month, we almost broke even. Ticket sales, 9,000. TV revenue, 20,000. Sponsorship and merchandise sales doing what they're doing. This might be almost... Even if we just break even, it's going to be good for us. Our workers' costs are lower. Our production cost is going to be what it's going to be. But this is really some momentum going on here. And we haven't even gotten our pay-per-view here. I think this is looking good, especially compared to the previous months. I mean, we're not losing that money that we would. Even if we lose only $4,000 a month, that's going to be better than what we were doing. Really good. And so, we really had to look at playing around with our smaller wrestlers, because even someone like Sammy here is $1,400. It's just too much money to be paying right now. So if we kind of expand that B team, I think we really got an opportunity here to change it up and do something interesting. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Let's look at this roster the next episode. I mean, see what we got going on here with our budget. Yeah, we got a lot of money that we're paying for people here. Like Flip Gordon's costs way too much money for where he is in the mid card. So yeah, we're definitely going to do another episode of a future Endeavored episode as we're barreling towards the 50 mark on our episode count, which is insane. And we're gonna look at maybe look at this women's division. Holy crap, there's way too many people in here. But we're gonna find some cheaper people. We're gonna look at some people that maybe have some potential that we can build up, so we have a nice starcade. Anyways, guys, once again, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.